What's going on, everybody? This is Dave from This Is Pop Punk Promotions. I'm here with Hunter from Living Room Romantics from Vermont. How's it going, Hunter?
Good, you?
Doing great. Really appreciate you, man, coming on and chatting up a little bit. Let's dive right into it. So, how did you and when did you start up Living Room Romantics?
So, Living Romantics, I guess we'll say the idea of it started in 2020. My former band was kind of on a break, just like a lot of bands because of COVID. And I had some idea for some songs that just weren't the same style. They were more acoustic. And I wrote and recorded a couple rough ideas with a friend of mine. And that was it. Nothing happened with them. I thought they were cool, sat on them. And then basically last summer, I was kind of like, I want to do something with these. So I took two of those three, wrote two more, and spent, you know, he lives in Maine, so it's kind of a little back and forth travel time. And over the course of a couple months, did those recordings and put them out end of last year, beginning of this year. I can't remember when I put them out. I think it was the beginning of this year. But yeah.
That's awesome, man. So, you released On Fire in January. How's the response been to it?
I think it's been pretty good. I mean, not huge, but everyone who's listened to it really likes that song and likes the other ones that came afterwards, for sure. I had a little write up from a local newspaper about it. They also know me from my other bands that I used to be in, so that was kind of a cool little treat that they threw that in there and liked what I was doing. Thought it was a more mature approach, which I kind of laughed at, in the fact that I don't think I'm a super mature person, but they thought musically it was more mature, so that was kind of cool.
Yeah, it's funny. You weren't really going for that. You were trying to be like silly and crazy and, reliving the glory days. And
Yeah, but yeah, I think the small group of people who've listened to it have liked it and liked the other songs.
very cool. So, who did you record it with and how was the process?
So I literally recorded it with a friend of mine. Really laid back. We just did it in his sunroom over the course of, like I said, a couple trips over there. Um, he did all the electric leads that you hear. I did all the acoustic guitar rhythm tracks, sang everything. Uh, drums are drums are programmed. Neither of us really know how to drum. Uh, he did bass on one song. I did it on the other three, or I think three. I think all of them had bass, but yeah, it's pretty laid back. Definitely different than going to an actual studio and you got to play this 18 more times, and then you're like, oh man, I don't know how to play guitar or sing. But I mean, it always turns out good. I like to be pushed. He's really big on, like, my friend's really good at, like, doubling your vocals, and I'm like, oh my god, come on, I already sang this like 10 times. He's like, no, 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 gotta double your vocals. So I like that.
Right on, man. That's awesome. So, how's the alternative music scene in Vermont? Do you have a favorite venue, a favorite local band?
So I've always loved playing at this place in Winooski called Monkey House, and there's two new spots that I'm really digging. Um, this place called Despacito, and it's a restaurant, but they've got like a side section that they have bands in, and that place has been going crazy, like at least once a week having shows. And then there's a place in Randolph called the Underground that's been doing a lot of shows, and I've gotten a chance to play there twice, and it's a pretty cool place too. As far as local bands, there's a hardcore band called The Path. I'm friends with a couple of them. They're really sweet. I like them. I just saw a band called Robbery. They're just a punk band. Really dug what they were doing too. Like, definitely worth checking out both of them. The Path just put out a new album. Pretty sweet.
That's sick.
Yeah.
So, who would you say your biggest influences are?
Oh God, I feel like they've always changed a little bit. I mean, I grew up listening to Blink 182, and stuff like that, and MXPX. And I feel like that's always going to be present. Later, early 20s, Real Friends in the Wonder Years for sure. Got into Dashboard way later in life, and I'm like, why did I not listen to them in high school? I would have been so sad. The artist I've been really, really, really digging is Brian Fallon. I definitely hopped on the Gaslight Anthem train way too late, but I got to see him last February for his solo project. Awesome. Saw him, Little Gaslight, a couple months back. Awesome. I think he's just a great songwriter and definitely draw a lot of influence from him. Been digging the Menzingers a lot recently too. Yeah, anything that's, I wouldn't just say punk music because again, there's like some weird acoustic stuff that I'm into as well, or just not total punk or pop punk bands. Just, I don't know, anything that I'm really feeling. I like a lot of good lyrics, even if they don't have to be super clever all the time. I just want to feel what they're trying to feel. Like I like that. And that's what I want to do. I want to write songs that you can relate to and you can feel what I'm feeling and trying to convey.
I definitely feel you on that one. So if you could tour with one of those bands, which one?
Definitely Brian Fallon or Gaslight would be amazing. That would be rad. And Dashboard, I feel like that would be pretty cool. That would be a weird show, both of them, but it seems like Brian takes out, even in Gaslight, like lesser known bands. When I saw him, they had some smaller bands that I really dug. And even when I saw Gaslight a couple months ago, there's this band Oso Oso from New York. I think they're from New York City. They blew my mind. They were really, really good. And I think that's really good, great of, bigger names taking out smaller artists.
It means
If
that
I
they
were
haven't
in that
forgotten where they
position, I
came
will.
from.
Exactly.
Right
Very
on. That's
humbling, I feel
that's a
like.
different answer. Yeah, I feel like normally I get like, Blink-182 or Newfound Glory. I mean, that's cool.
I mean, I don't feel like that project would fit with either of them. And I mean, I love both those bands. I mean, it would be sweet to tour with them, but that's not who I would, at this stage in my life, wanna be on tour with.
Each his own. So now I'm going to ask you some non-music questions. It's a good way for me to get to know you. I did this with the other bands. Are you ready?
Yeah,
Our first one, favorite season.
fall, hands down.
Hmm.
Best season. If it could just be fall all the time, you find me a place where it's fall year round, I'm going. I
You're in
like
the right state for
brisk
it.
weather. Yeah, right state for like a week and a half until it snows forever.
Yeah, it doesn't sound too fun, but hey, whatever floats your boat.
Yeah,
If you could be any Power Ranger, which one?
Tommy Oliver, Green Ranger, hands down. Not
Yes.
even a contest. I've
Yes.
got so
Yes.
much
Yes.
Power Ranger stuff. It's not even funny.
You're speaking my language. The Green Power Ranger has always been my favorite and always will be.
Yep. Yep.
When Jason David Frank, when he passed away, like my heart just dropped.
Oh my God. I saw that morning on Facebook and I had to I immediately called one of my best friends and I was like, dude, have you seen? He's like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, dude, Jason David Frank died. And he wouldn't believe me. I had to send him like 3 different articles. It was terrible. Super sad.
But we have to honor him in the best way possible.
Yeah.
So if you go back in time and talk to one world leader or person of influence, who would it be?
That's a tough one. Um, I mean, I think it'd be world leader. I mean, it'd be kind of cool, I guess, just because Obama, just because, he was president like right as I was getting out of high school. And I feel like I would know more about him and what was going on because I was old enough to sort of understand, um, you know, politics more than just like being a little kid and like seeing other presidents and stuff. I guess that'd be my answer. Maybe it's not the greatest one, but it's the first thing that comes to mind.
So if you had $1 million and you could donate it to any charity, which one?
Maybe something to do with like animal shelters. There's a lot of shelters that I think, especially down south, that can't afford to keep pets for very long. They've got high kill shelters. I think it's usually just because they've got so many animals. I think that's what I would probably do. Be my first choice, that or, you know, something to do with cancer. Maybe split it.
Can't go wrong with either one. All right, last question. What are some places in Vermont that visitors should check out?
Visitors should check out.
Yes.
Well, I'm from Burlington, and I would definitely say check out Burlington. It's the biggest place. The lake's awesome. So much to do during the summer. Fall time, I'd go up any mountain. Mount Mansfield's really cool, but through the Notch is really nice drive, especially if you have like a motorcycle. That's pretty sweet. Um, I love to go in any place that has maple creamies. Any place with those. Mad Tom's Apple Orchard has the best apple cider donuts. I'd say definitely go there. Any tourist spot would be fine, I guess, but I don't know, discover something new. Look up, things that aren't just touristy.
So when I get up there to visit you, you could take me to all those places.
Oh, I could take you to all of them. And we could do it all in one day. The state's so small.
Oh, heck yeah. Right on, man. I mean, Vermont's on my bucket list. I haven't been there. I'm trying to go to every state. So,
Yeah.
yeah, keep your eyes peeled.
Yeah, definitely let me know. I'd take you around. There's
Sounds
tons
good.
of, if you're into beer, there's tons of breweries and
Oh, don't
there's
get me
good
started.
food. There's
Don't
good
get me
food
started.
and
Don't get me started. I tell people all the time, don't get me started on coffee, beer, and music.
yep. I'm with you on two of them. I don't really drink coffee, but that's cool.
Really? Are you a tea drinker?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So it sounds like you maybe belong in England.
You know what? They've got better health care.
Now, the interesting thing is, surprisingly, like they're actually really big into coffee.
Yeah, it's odd.
When I was over there a couple of years ago, there was tons of coffee shops and tons of people were drinking coffee. I mean, they were also drinking tea as well, but I mean, I was surprised with the amount of people that were drinking coffee.
Crazy. I'd love to go over to anywhere in Europe. Would be really rad.
Well, I definitely recommend it. Start with the UK and then go from there.
Yeah. Love to go to Venice. Like that would be like one of the coolest places to go.
Yeah, that's on my bucket list. My mom actually just got back from there, and she said it was really, really cool. Definitely recommends it. Well, I really appreciate you, man, coming on and chatting up a little bit, and the support means the world to me.
Yeah, no problem. I think that your groups are awesome. Like again, you've got the pop punk promotion one, and I see bands on there all the time. You got to check them out. And I wish more people would. I know that group is huge, but I wish more people would, interact on there and share bands, not just you. Even if it's just their own, it doesn't matter. Or their friends' band, just share them so we can all hear them.
Well, I really appreciate that. That means a lot to me. So for the
Yeah,
people that are going to watch this interview later, where can they find your music at?
anywhere. I mean, it's on YouTube, it's on Spotify, it's on Bandcamp, it's on Apple Music, iTunes, anywhere that you can find digital music, it's there.
Do what the man says. Go to those websites, listen to the music, buy the merch, and support them. Support local music.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you have a great night, my friend, and we'll chat soon.
Yeah, you too. Thanks.
Appreciate it. See ya.
See ya.